Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Occult Think Tank. My name is Greg. In this video, I am going to clarify what I mean by I want to have an open discussion. Because apparently, this person got an attitude when I didn't automatically believe their claim. You notice the one is the Snook OY, the other is this Doug whatever. In the one, there is unseen beings aren't magical, but rather a scientific phenomenon. Then down here, that you would be more open-minded about it rather than scientific. If you're going to claim something as a scientific phenomenon, don't get an attitude with me when I look for scientific evidence. But also, it is not a higher vibrational anything to be living in fear of some what would be termed demon that you can't even prove exists. This is very much on the aspect of you have to eliminate mental illness when somebody starts talking about demons. Because it is far more likely that somebody is suffering from schizophrenia or another kind of mental illness rather than there is some demon out there that's trying to control them. I have never in my life encountered any kind of demon that is, I hate you, I want to kill you, I want to control your mind. I've never met that. I've never seen that. I had a battle with the Army over the subject of aliens, because that can be seen as what they tried terming as delusional. The truth of the matter is, I was medically cleared in an hour and a half because the things that I talked about, I could prove. I could show that our government knows about extraterrestrials. I could offer clear evidence that this is a subject that the government has full knowledge of, that they just don't make public. The thing is, without the evidence that that subject is something that the government knows about, that is what would get someone classified as being delusional. If you are talking about demons and so forth, most likely you are going to end up being put into a mental institution because it will be concluded that there is mental illness at play. That is why if somebody tries using the devil made me do it defense, even if a judge and jury would be, and prosecutor would be Christians, they would still look at somebody that is using a devil made me do it defense as, are they mentally fit to stand trial? And they would be psychologically evaluated. The reason is, even if a person believes in a God or whatnot, mentioning things like that make people wonder and question your sanity. The Occult Think Tank is not about me or anyone saying that their ideas have to be automatically accepted or you're not open-minded. That's not an open discussion. You're wanting to have it that any idea that you present can't be questioned, or you're not open-minded. No, I am open-minded. I just want evidence. If there is going to be something that I am going to examine, I have to have something to examine. I can't make a video without something. Be it posts like this, fictional pictures like you see, or worse, things like this that I had found that they had used this word archons and claiming they're psycho-spiritual parasites. Number one, what's spiritual? Because all that is what would be termed an alien. And to try to say and demonize an alien race simply because they look different than us is really bigotry, not anything that is based on fact. It is not a higher vibrational because you are operating out of fear. And fear is a lower vibrational, not a higher. You do not get to say that you are operating in a higher vibrational and then everything that you're doing is showing defensiveness, fear, insecurity, all a lower vibration based on the scale that I had come across. I'm simply asking questions. I'm simply saying I am skeptical. I want evidence. I want proof. I want, especially with this toroidal magnetic being. What is that? I challenge anybody that watches this to Google those 3 words. Look it up. It will be the circular type of image that I had showed you. At the very most, it would be that circular image around the human form. But that is not something that we can see. That is not something that can be examined. It's nothing. There's not even a thought that can really be evaluated. It is simply a wild assertion that a person makes. And I'm sorry, just because you can come up and say blah, 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 doesn't mean that everybody has to accept it. That's not wanting to have be part of an open discussion. Somebody that's wanting to never be questioned, they're wanting to be a cult leader. That everything they say is accepted without question. That's not what I'm about. That's not what would be productive to anything. I am all about discussions about the supernatural, mystical, magical beliefs, practices or phenomena. Fine, but have something to offer. Have something to examine. If you're going to just make up toroidal magnetic beings that there's nothing to it, then there's nothing to examine. I think it was Carl Sagan that had said extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. But if you're going to have an extraordinary claim and have no evidence, there's no reason for me to even consider the extraordinary claim. Because when I make a video, I don't make a video thinking people have to accept every word I say without question. That's not an open discussion. That's wanting to be a cult leader. And I'm sorry, I don't want to be Charles Manson. That's not what I'm about. I don't know if did anybody else get that impression that that was what the occult think tank is about, is blind acceptance to any wild fucking idea without question. When did I ever say that? It really seems, especially for somebody that was talking about operating in a higher vibrational, they seem to be very sensitive to anyone questioning and doubting a claim that they make. Never mind the fact that there's no evidence to support that it's even anything at all. It's a puff of smoke in a grassy knoll, as far as I can see. Because if there would be demons or whatnot, and they could control your mind and so forth, that pisses all over the idea of free will. You can't have free will if some demon or whatnot can manipulate your mind. You have no free will then. You're a puppet on a string. So you have to make a choice. Do you have free will, or are you a puppet to these demons? And if you're going to take the puppet approach, be aware. This is along the lines of mental illness. You have to first eliminate the possibility of mental illness before you can be considered to be raising something that's of any value. I'll reiterate, I had a battle with the Army over the subject of extraterrestrials. And the Army wanted to call me delusional. And if I would not have been able to provide evidence that not only the Army but our government knows extraterrestrials do exist, I would have had nothing. You must first establish that there is a reason to believe your claim is credible and that you are not suffering from a mental illness. And somebody asking for that is not persecuting you. It doesn't mean that they're closed-minded. It means that they're concerned about your mental state. It means you have to have something. But I am interested in an open discussion, but it doesn't mean that every idea that you come up with will automatically be accepted. I mean, frankly, there could be some people that would see a comment like I was getting from this person and absolutely troll them, laugh their ass off, make fun of. Because that is the way people typically react to something that is so far out in left field and that there's no evidence to support it. Ridicule is the first thing that people go to. It may not be right, but it's human. It's normal. But feel free to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. I'm out.